I swear to goodness, if a plane was crashing, I would survive.
I would survive.
I'm rolling. Yo, for some weird reason,
I figured out every possible way to stay alive. Yo, I know I will be good.
All right, so I got two ways of doing this.
Go ahead.
Either I'm jumping off the plane as soon as we get a close enough ground where I could survive, or this is the craziest shit ever. I'm gonna roll into my fall.
Welcome back to the channel. This is episode number 6. 6 videos in 1 month. We are working. Just trying to make sure that we get content for y'all. Make sure there's some stuff that y'all actually want to talk about, some stuff y'all actually want to hear. It's going to get a lot crazier, a lot more in detail. We're going to start pulling out facts, looking up, doing research, and making sure that, comparing facts versus opinion. That is coming in the future. Stay tuned. It is about to get real technical.
We're trying to dig deep a little bit more into what we got going on. Taking off the training wheels right about now. We got our feet wet a little bit, but now we see a bigger picture for it. You know what I mean? And especially with the help of y'all.
Yeah, y'all making this shit way easier.
Yeah, you're making it easier, and y'all making us think a little bit more, knowing that people are watching consistently and knowing that people have a ghost. But just knowing that y'all have an opinion on what we have to say.
Y'all are actually watching and listening.
It makes us want to dig deeper. Like you said, do more research on things. Really let y'all learn something from watching these videos. You know what I mean? Of course, our opinions matter, but as far as actually having knowledge, the actual truth towards things, you know what I'm saying?
Flavor to it, other than our own. So I'm gonna be the one to do it. Are we alive? Are we actually here right now in the moment, present? Are you actually here? Are you actually you? Or have you already done this before and somebody's controlling you? You're just a new character in the game.
And before you start judging, okay, if you are judging, I want you to dig deep into what he's saying right now, because it's easy to skip past it and just think, all right, well, I'm not going to put too much thought process in, so therefore I don't really see what he's saying. But if you kind of really understand and try to understand what he just said, are we here? Is this real?
Is this real? Think about it.
We're gonna give you some questions in the middle of this topic to help you understand a lot more better, but really dig deep and try to think about things.
Yo, just now, how many different responses went through your head just now? So you didn't even realize that you're thinking about what we're saying, but you're also thinking about
what you're saying,
what you could possibly respond with. Mm-hmm. But you haven't said anything out of your mouth. How do you have a voice, right? You have this voice, and then you heard me say this voice, but I didn't even say it out loud. But you knew exactly what I was talking about. So are we actually here, or is somebody there? Is somebody else doing this? It don't make no sense to me.
No, it don't make no sense. And even just when you're carrying through life, it just kind of feels like there's a consciousness that might have happened beforehand, and now the physical is starting to take place.
You're just catching up.
You're catching up, because you ever wonder what deja vu is?
Yeah, that. I wasn't just about to say that, but I was just about to say something like that. How can you say that you've already experienced something, or you feel like you've already been through something, if this is your first time being live? This is your first time watching this video. You're not gonna be able to say you watched this video somewhere else, because you haven't. Unless you have. Yo, this is deja vu. Y'all, I swear I seen this somewhere else.
This clip?
No, you didn't.
Right.
You did not see this clip anywhere else. I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Or you felt like you had this conversation or overheard this conversation.
It's just crazy to think.
It's kind of we were talking about it earlier, and to break it down, we were talking about a little bit on the crazier side, but how does a sperm cell create bones and organs, a brain that is so
the most complex thing we know to man right now?
How did that form inside of
something we got to look through a microscope to see it actually moving around and stuff like that? The egg and the sperm you're telling me a microscopic egg or microscopic sperm built this monumental size ass human being?
Hell,
bro, come on, stop that. And you're gonna tell me that a woman carried, and not only carried, but cooked. You cooked, carried, and built a whole human being inside of you.
It's crazy.
So you went from microscopic to whatever eyesight view is, just popping out. Boom. And that you're capable of doing that. So
out of where? What formed? What happened?
Nerves. Nerves. Come on. Really? Come on, bro. Nerves. You
and don't think we're
nerves, you know how many
tripping.
nerves we got? Nervous system?
Like, this shit is really complex when you really break it down and start really paying attention to, like, emotion and physical, like,
yo,
how?
Like a wound. You ever get cut, right? Everybody you've had a cut before, or you've had some type of gash somewhere on your body. You've never actually physically watched it heal, but the fact that you had the chance to not only, matter of fact, you put back the muscle that's going. Hear me out. The muscle. Where is your body getting the new muscle from, bro? Where? I don't have extra muscle laying around to just pull it and fix it, let alone extra skin. Where are you getting extra skin from? Where are you pulling that from? All right, then we were talking about earlier, the teeth. Your teeth. You know how many sets of teeth you were born with? I'm going to go ahead and say 3, right? I could go ahead and say like 4 because I'm going to count the wisdom teeth as a whole nother set. As a baby, think about a baby's head. A baby's head is not the same size as a damn toddler's head. Okay? We're not even going to go to adult. We're not going to go grown. We're going to go baby to toddler. You're telling me you got 3 sets of teeth from here to here, and the teeth were that size your whole life? No. The head's this big. You're telling me you fit 3 sets of teeth in this little ass infant head?
Yeah, because where they get pulled from?
Where are you getting those from?
Look at a baby's gums. Like, where are you pulling these teeth from?
Where are they coming from? It's crazy because you got the baby teeth, you got the intermediate teeth. I don't know what the real name is for it. I was trying to think about it earlier. It don't matter. Then you got the grown-up teeth.
Right.
So you're telling me an infant got grown-up teeth his or her whole life?
Just
and they just grow in.
They're waiting to grow.
They just come in whenever. No.
They're waiting their turn. They see the baby saying, all right, well, as soon as they're done, I'm coming up.
We're not alive. I'm just going to go ahead and say we're not alive.
And even the texture of a tooth, how is that forming through I don't know.
How is that all written down? Go ahead. We're going to have that one person that's saying, genetics, you science freak. Okay, cool. Think about it realistically, bro. That's like saying one water droplet and another water droplet is going to create a river. That's what you're telling me? So I'm going to get one drop of water here, one drop of water here. I could put them together and it's going to create a river. Not a stream. I'm talking about a full-blown, wide-ass, sail a boat down river. No, it's not possible. No. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
It's crazy.
I don't think we're alive, to be honest. In my own opinion. Somebody's controlling
theory on it is dimensions. So I think that, like, we're living in dimensions. I feel like this has happened before in another dimension.
So what? We're a new character in a new dimension?
Yeah, your physical form is one of the dimensions that you're living through. And then once this goes, you'll go through like a spiritual dimension. That's where my mindset kind of goes with it.
Okay, I can understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it started off with the consciousness. Like a conscience. You know, you have your conscience, like your little...
What dimension you putting that in, though?
Your first dimension.
Physical or spiritual?
What, the conscious dimension?
Mm-hmm. Or it got its own thing?
It's its own thing. It starts off with a consciousness. I think everything started from a conscience.
But what the fuck is a conscience? Break that down for me real quick. What is a conscience?
Conscience is... It's hard to explain.
It is hard to explain.
The easiest way to like say it is like the voice in the back of your head that people, the way to describe that, but I'm talking like a little bit more in depth than that. Like a consciousness is, because when I say it like that, because where do you start the conscience from?
Where does the conscience come from? How do you have another voice in your head that's not? How is that voice in your head and you're the only one capable of hearing that voice?
Well, I think there's somebody listening, of course.
Somebody else is doing it.
I know who's listening, and he knows who's listening. He knows he's listening. You know what I mean? And I think that's where my conscience comes from. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I think it starts from there.
So he's cussing?
I think he's the most realest person in the world. But I feel like he caters to who he knows you're going to be. So, like, of course, he's not going to speak the same way that he would speak to me, to, like, a Bill Gates or, you know what I'm saying? Like, another person. Like, I feel like he speaks to you
based on your dimension.
Based on your characteristics, like the way that you are, the way that you're set up, the way that you're wired. I feel like he caters to that, and then you go from there, and then that's how you build your relationship with yourself, but also, I don't know, it's
the consciousness seems to be like a plug-in, like for a computer, for instance, right? Break down a computer, you open it up, there's a motherboard. And in the motherboard, there's programs that go for the computer. So when you type a certain key, you get a certain product. So for the computer, it would be, if you do a certain type of sequence, you'll get a result, right? But if you do the sequence wrong, you won't get a result. So for us, it seems to be the same way. They're just typing it in through the consciousness, and we're supposed to pick or decide if we're actually going to go through with whatever they're giving us.
Right.
If they give us a certain input, and we don't want to do that input, is why we make
error.
I guess error is, or it seems as though we make a mistake. It seems as though we failed. It seems as though we're not progressing or doing anything possible.
But what is technically wrong? Realistically, obviously society plays a part on what we're supposed to be feeling.
Yeah,
because we're brought up into it. But like, realistically, what's wrong? Like, what? How can we decide what somebody is doing is wrong with society-based ethics aside? I'm talking about strictly reason. You know what I mean? Like basic reason. With, like I said, all society-based rules out the way. How would we determine what was wrong? Would you have to feel it in order for it to be wrong? Because obviously, when you do, but even that, we don't even know what's wrong and right without the brainwash involved. Because like right now, if I'd be like, oh, if I felt like something was wrong, well, let's just say I never was taught that. How would I know it would be wrong? Like there's people in like third world countries that are, well, I'm not even third world countries. There's people like those lost tribe people. They'll kill without that's their survival instincts, and they'll kill a human. You know what I'm saying? And not think nothing of it. Won't lose sleep about it. Won't remember them or nothing like that. But if you walk down the street and you kill somebody, you're gonna feel it because society taught you that was wrong. That was wrong. Yeah. But my thing is like, how
would you know that?
What really matters? This is deep, but like, what really matters?
What really matters is being able to control that little voice in your head. Because if you go back to doing the whole society thing, the whole reason why, as a generation, people struggle with certain shit is because they're worried about getting approval from something else. They're worried about, if I do this, what will I get back? If I do this, what's the backlash? If I do this, what's the praise?
Right.
You know, what's the amount of attention I'm going to get from what I'm getting ready to do, regardless if it's right or wrong. The reason why I feel like we do a lot of wrong shit, even though we know or we're being told that it's the wrong thing to do, is because we know that we're going to get some attention for it. Like, we know, regardless of whatever I got going on up here, I know for a fact I'm going to get this in return if I do it.
Right, and it starts off with you being a kid. When a kid feels like he's being neglected a little bit, or
that's why I say, like, are we even alive? Because how the hell was my parents supposed to know that right now I'm going to be able to pick up on something that they learned that long ago?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because to be honest, it's just like erosion. You know what I'm saying? You lose a certain amount of shit over a certain amount of time every time something passes, every time something brushes on it.
Right.
So generation to generation to generation to generation, you're going to lose something eventually from what was originally taught.
Absolutely.
So is this, and if it wasn't lost, is what I'm getting at. If it wasn't lost, is it even real? Because you're supposed to lose certain stuff. Now, right or wrong, we know is right or wrong. We're not going to say it has to be or it has to be. Right or wrong is right or wrong. That's all we know. Look, this is right, this is wrong. But why is that? Where did we even get that from?
It started with control, first and foremost. The reason why they unplugged us with all these ideas and beliefs and what was supposed to be right or wrong, I think, was control. How do you control people? You set rules in order to contain and confide groups of people. So in your household, as simple as that. You set boundaries, you set rules for the child, and that's what he's going to live by.
Right.
And he's going to grow from there to hold the same standards as he progresses and goes forward. So I think that's where it started, obviously. I think they were trying to control people, because before then, what were people doing?
We were, to be honest, I think we were living before.
Oh, yeah, I think it was lit.
I think it was lit.
Because you got to think about living without care.
Yeah, they just didn't give a fuck.
We got so much like worry right now because we got bills now. We have appearance. Like society fucked us up so much that a lot of things that shouldn't matter to us. You know what I mean? And think about it, back then, niggas wasn't wearing Jordans.
They didn't care what they had.
You're butt ass naked out there, damn near. Maybe an animal fur on you or something. And you're living your life. Like, think about it, as a kid, you're carefree and you probably had the best time of your life. Everybody wants to go back to being a kid.
The only thing they ever needed to learn how to do was to survive.
That's it.
That's it. Look, this is how you hunt. This is the way you stalk your prey. This is how you kill it, clean it, and eat it.
And I wish we would have kept the same beliefs going forward. Because think about it, like, imagine not having. Of course, we're gonna advance.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, that was the best part about it, is we're evolving into like technology and things like that. But okay, we could have worked on that, but still kept the beliefs of we're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
That's your only go-to. And you survive and you provide for your family until they're capable of providing for themselves.
Right. So, is this real? Are we real? Or is there some type of game master? Because I don't understand why every single month there's a new trend. Every single month there's something new to look at. There's something new to watch. Rihanna's fucking pregnant. Rihanna's pregnant, right? Now, it's probably a big deal to a lot of people, and that's why it was released the way that it was. But why are they doing that? They're releasing that Rihanna's pregnant because they're trying to distract us from what they're getting ready to do. They're getting ready to do some other shit to try to keep us.
It's always something.
So the game master has control over what I see as everybody, because we're just a pawn in the damn game.
Not everybody.
Because not everybody, but so you got the game master, you got the person controlling the body that we're in, and then there's us. So the voice that we hear is coming from that. Now the second voice that you hear that combats that voice is who? That game master, because he's the one or she's the one trying to make all the decisions. Yo, we're doing this. Your player's like, we're not doing that. Now you're in your old head like, which one do I do?
Right. Why are you fighting with yourself?
How are you fighting with yourself in your head?
Yeah.
You have one voice, right? This is what I sound like. The voice in my head is supposed to sound like this. It doesn't sound like this. It sounds a little bit lighter. Or is that just me? Your voice is the same exact tone?
My voice is a lot smoother in my head. He's a smooth motherfucker.
Now, why is that?
That's my alter ego.
Your alter ego, or...
Hey, you know what I mean.
This is how I know he'll listen. Let me type it this way.
Daniel.
I know he'll listen to me if I say it like this. So let me type it this way.
Holy shit.
Let me put it in this. Let me make it soft. Let me make it smooth. And then you type whatever the command is. Whatever they want you to think. Whatever they want you to believe. Whatever they want you to do. Wherever they want you to go. Because I know if I say it in another tone, if I say it in the tone that he speaks in, he's going to think it's okay to not do what I'm telling him to do.
It's only my power.
Because it's me.
It's me. I don't listen to myself all the fucking time. That's fucking crazy.
I don't think we're alive. Bro, the human body is just ridiculously intelligent or advanced for me to believe that this is real. The skeleton in itself, ridiculous. How is it possible to have all these bones, right? How is it possible to have all these nerves
and just know where to go and know where to form and how they just...
But I can't read what's on your mind. The brain is the most intelligent thing I've ever encountered. I don't do a lot of research. I'm not a science fanatic, so yes.
But you're using common knowledge to know that...
What I know is what I know.
The way we're speaking right now, the way that we're looking at this camera right now, the way that we're moving our hands, everything comes first here through the brain. So
but you're not even thinking about half of the shit that you have to do. Now they're going to say, yeah, the brainstem. Fuck the brainstem, right? Breathing is essential. So is water, right? You don't have to tell yourself to breathe. You just do it. But you have to tell yourself to drink water. Why is that? Because they want you to feel like a human being. But look, I'm gonna keep you alive because I need you to be alive because there's a certain
imagine how many people, if they had the thought process to breathe all day
how
long. Many people would be able to keep up with it? That is so draining to think about.
If you had to think about breathing all day long, you wouldn't be able to listen to what's going on in your
You'd be exhausted. Breathe.
But now you forgot to eat. So now you got to tell yourself to breathe and you got to tell yourself to eat. Breathe, eat, breathe, eat. But now you need water. Breathe, eat, drink, breathe, eat, drink. While you're also completing a whole entire job that has its own set of directions for it.
Ah, damn. So you think your mindset is you're going like more of the like
I'm talking
computer wise
100%.
Like there's a higher power.
I am a simulation. I'm a hologram.
And this is his game to give us thought, to give us conscience,
to try to get me all the way somewhere that I wasn't already from before. I'm a new character. I'm an evolved character. The character that I was before this didn't have the intellect that I got. It didn't have the background that I got.
You just keep getting better. That's why people say you keep coming back.
Program so that way I can move forward. I feel like that's why they always try to say that your soul comes back. No, you
So, like,
get unplugged and
what's that
replugged
game
into.
called? Sims.
Yes.
We're getting simmed right now.
We're being simmed right now. I never really played Sim. All I know is green, yellow, red. And we're the same way. We're green, you get out the shower, you're green. You eat, you're green. If you're not in a good mood, you're yellow, which means you need attention. And then you do whatever the damn sim needs done. Whether that's to use the bathroom, that's to eat some food, that's to work out, that's
sleep.
All that kind of shit. Sleeping. How do you heal in your sleep, but you don't heal while you're awake?
Yeah, why do they always say, oh, go to sleep on it?
Sleep on it. Sleep on it. Sleep on it. They literally punch that into you as a kid is sleep on it. They say that in the corporate world. Let me sleep on it. Why is that? How is it possible to go through an entire sequence of sleeping and there's only one sequence of that sleep where you're totally unconscious and not capable of feeling anything? Why do you think that is? When the disc don't work in the game, what do? You take it out, you wipe it off, you blow in the machine, and then you put it back in and you start it back up. Game usually works. Or same thing for your phone. Your phone's acting crazy, what do? You turn it off, you let it sit for a little while, you turn it back on, it's back to normal. Unless you need an update. When it's time for an update, your life runs out. It's time for the new person that they're creating.
God damn.
It's time for the new person that they're creating. So
you
are
older, you're aging. So you're aging, you're not as strong, you're not as healthy.
This is what we did wrong.
Think about it. If I keep this phone for
a certain amount of time,
for the next 20 years, this shit is not going to be on.
It'll stop working. They literally force you to upgrade to a new phone. It's the same exact thing, just with a little bit minor details. More phone storage, better camera quality, more apps.
So what is our next steps? Like, we think
I
it's like
have no
knowledge.
idea. I feel like wherever you did it peak right now, it goes into the simulation of the next character. So if you were supposed to excel at something and you fell off, they noted that. And they noted why. So the next time you come back, you could succeed at this.
So do you think they're trying to like
did this wrong?
Build the perfect human?
Not even build the perfect human. I think they're trying to build the perfect society. But everybody has to play their part. Mm-hmm. So because you didn't do this, somebody across the world didn't get a chance to do that because they didn't get the media.
But if that was the case, why didn't he put everybody on the same accord? Like, why would he give us all free will thinking and not just have us one track minded?
Not even.
And we would all be just. I think he's just like. What do you think? Is like giving us a chance to make a right or wrong decision?
Feel like you are living.
All right, this is something deeper.
Good.
What if you are the only one really living right now, and everything around you is the simulation?
I thought about that too. Like, what if I'm the only real human being? Because if you think about it, when there's hundreds of thousands of people in one area, and we're all not having intrusive thoughts are impossible to ignore. They're there. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. I don't care how mentally strong you are. You have that thought of, I could kill this motherfucker right now if I wanted to. Even though that's not a part of you.
I'll jump out this fucking window right now.
I'll jump out this window right now and I will be fine.
I wonder how I'm gonna land. Mine's is, I used to think like,
No,
I swear to goodness, if a plane was crashing, I would survive.
I would survive.
I'm rolling. Yo, for some weird reason,
I figured out every possible way to stay alive. Yo, I know I will be good.
Alright, so I got two ways of doing this.
Go ahead.
Either I'm jumping off the plane as soon as we get a close enough ground where I could survive, or this is the craziest shit ever. I'm gonna roll into my fall.
Yeah, as if you were to like gymnastics, tumbling.
Like they jump high in the air and catch themselves in the wall.
Parkour.
Like I get it's a lot more speed and
yeah,
but I feel like if I angle it the way,
like you would just be rolling.
Oh,
and be rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. You wouldn't die. You might break a couple bones, but you wouldn't die. I think about that shit all the time. Like I would be perfectly. Any worst case scenario, I would be fine.
Yeah.
Like I just got this James Bond mentality where like if I'm about to be in a car crash, I'm getting out the window halfway, and as soon as you hit me, the rest of my body's just gonna fall out, and I'm gonna be standing straight up. Who thinks of shit like that? Why? Why am I like this? Is that supposed to happen? Like plane crash, guarantee I'm surviving.
I'm surviving.
There's no way. I'm going to survive because worst case scenario with a plane crash, other than the two that you gave, I would jump out as soon as I know that it's fucked up, and I will float until I see some water.
Yeah, hold yourself because you're going to keep falling. But
you're going to fall, but you're going to fall slowly, slower than you would if you were pointed in a direction.
Without anything, are you allowed to direct where you're going, falling? Because
it depends on.
Like, I think you go straight down, but like, how am I going to guide myself to somewhere?
I think you would. I think it's just.
Can I tilt?
Yeah, if you tilt, like if you tilt this way, I think you would float that way. It's kind of like. Did you ever get in that machine, the jet machine? You know what I'm talking about?
Jet machine.
The shit where it simulates you skydiving or just floating in the air.
Yeah.
The big tunnel joint.
Yeah.
And you see if they tuck, they float right down, and if they open up, they go right up, and if they turn, they go to a certain side.
Them, though.
It's just a suit.
Yeah, but that's
so if you
it directs the wind.
Bro, I'm the type of nigga, if I'm mid-air falling out the airplane, I'm taking my shirt off. I got the ability to take my shirt off and direct traffic. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care what you're talking about. With the shirt. Like, I got it like this, and I'm figuring out where I want to go. That's just me. I don't know. I'm not dying. And my whole thing is I'm not dying in this situation. It's not happening. I will figure out a way. Now, realistically, all the velocity of the air and all that good shit being pressed up on you, I probably won't be able to move, and I probably won't be able to think from strictly panic. Like there's an entire plane above me on fire, getting ready to crash.
Right.
But I think I would still be fine because I'm not dying in this situation. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a hero. Yeah. This man found a way to survive while 259 other people didn't. That's insane, bro. That's me. So back to the whole simulation shit. I'm the only one alive because I feel like I'm the only one that thought of this situation. You might be alive too because you thought about it too. But
what if I'm just like catering to your thoughts? Like,
what if you're a part of my conscience that's just
like
another hologram?
You put certain people in your life that cater to you because you don't know what I'm actually feeling right now.
No. I have a good idea.
Right, but
I don't necessarily know.
Like genuinely, I could be a robot just talking to you, and I know exactly what to say to spike your interest.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like realistically, you just don't know what somebody's thinking. I don't know.
I don't think none of this is real. This in itself, this recording. How is this little? Y'all know how little the lens is on the front of the camera.
How are they getting all this?
How is it getting all of this spatial area? And the lens is probably about this big. How is it's probably smaller than that? Just the this eyesight in general, it literally blows my mind. The fact that I can't see myself unless I'm looking at something that is able to reflect me. I can see everything that's going on except me.
No,
it's not scary that you can see.
It's definitely
but you
scary.
Can't see. Like I can see my hands, but I can't see my face. That is so mind-boggling to me. The fact that I can literally.
The most common part that you really want to look at,
I can't see it.
You can't see it directly, and that's the crazy thing too. What you're looking at, like we're looking at each other. We're looking at ourselves in the camera. You see me completely different.
Completely different. How is it possible for you to see me as a complete... I'm one person. I've been the same my entire life for the most part. But the way you see me may not reflect the person that I am. How?
See, I get into like this little rabbit hole every time I have the discussion with myself of jumping out of my body and trying to see what people have seen my whole entire life.
I've always wanted to do that.
Like, I wanted to just mirror myself and see what y'all are looking at, my mannerisms, the way I'm talking, everything.
The way I walk.
Everything. I want to look at myself, and
I think about that all the time.
I have dreams about it, actually. And I have a vivid dream of, like, I seen my dad as a child. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, I was there as he was, like, getting into a fight in the Ville. Yeah. Like, I was at the fight.
He was there watching it.
I know exactly what my dad looked like as a kid. Of course I've seen his childhood pictures, but this was too real. Like, I know exactly where he was at. I seen where he was walking, and for the longest time I would bring up this story to my dad, like, did we go to your friend's house and they showed me a VCR tape of you fighting somebody? And he tells me no all the time. I was there, I've seen it.
You've seen it firsthand. But you never were actually there.
It never really happened.
This is
like dreaming, like when you brought up sleep.
Sleep is crazy. Sleep is crazy.
Dreaming, what is that? Where are you pulling this from? Obviously it's from your brain, but
where did you get this?
It's like, where's your imagination located?
What is imagination? You know what it is? It's all the possibilities that you've been through before that didn't work out. But this is me showing you not to do it again. All the good shit that ever happened. For me, I get a lot more bad dreams or blank dreams than I do good dreams.
Facts. I don't have too many good dreams.
I don't have too many good dreams either. You know why? Because why would they continue to show you something that you did already that was good so you could keep doing that? Or they're going to show you something bad that you're not supposed to do to make sure that you don't do it, to make sure you get somewhere that you're supposed to get to. All the good shit is cool. But if you keep doing the same good thing over and over again, you're going to be stuck in one spot.
Have you ever had a stronger dreams immediately after losing somebody? Like, do you feel like anybody contacted you in your sleep? No. Contacted me?
No. I'm lying. Yes. One time. Mm-hmm. Twice. My Aunt Debbie, and that was when I was younger. And it was a brief moment, like one of them movie type shits where you see somebody.
Yeah.
Or you see them, but you don't see them. Then you look back to see them, and they're gone.
Yeah.
It was one of them. I was walking through this garden. It had the bridge like this. It had the pink flowers, and the background was like a light pink.
Mm-hmm.
Petals were falling and shit like that. I'm walking over. I see her. She's picking up a turtle because I love turtles. She's picking up a turtle. I look to see if it's her. I'm like, wait. Rub my eyes and she's gone. Dream was over. Now you know what's crazy is you just seen that entire dream. How did you just see everything I just? I'm willing to bet you just seen the bridge. You seen the pink petals and you seen the pink background.
You don't know
where I'm talking about. You don't know what she looks like, but you seen that whole thing. How?
I got another example for you because this is crazy. I used to have a nightmare every single night. I lived above a flower shop, and in order to get to my apartment, you would have to go through a padlocked door.
Right.
Then you go up steps. My door to my apartment is right at the top of the steps. My nightmare every single night that I moved there was that I'm at the top of these steps. It's storming outside. I can't see outside. I just know it's storming. Mm-hmm. Don't know how. It's pitch black. It's windy. And there's somebody at the bottom of that padlock that I cannot see. And he's tall. And he's banging on the door, trying to get in. I'm at the top of the steps, sitting down, staring down at the bottom of this door, and can't get up.
Oh, man.
But, this gets crazier, bro.
Man.
I had the same. I had to go sleep with my mom. I don't even want to tell you how old I was. I'm not telling nobody how old I was.
It don't matter.
But I had to go sleep with my mom, and the dream broke after my grandma passed. The same night I found out that my grandma passed. Okay, this is the craziest shit ever. The dream starts off the same way, the same exact way. I'm at the top of the steps. Somebody's down at the bottom trying to get in through this padlock. They're banging and screaming trying to get to me. Something told me to go check it out. Stop being scared. And if you are that scared, why not just get it over with?
Yeah, right.
Like go towards your fear and relinquish that shit. I'm finally able to get up. I could never get up to fucking run. Yeah. I'm mad at my dream for that. But you want me to get up to go towards it. Okay, I'ma listen to you. So I'm tiptoeing down the steps. I'm getting scared. I'm having second thoughts, but I can't go back. I'm already moving. I build up the courage to turn this knob, close my eyes, open the door. Nobody's there, and it's bright, sunny outside. Oh, it gets crazier. I go outside. I had pussy willows all down my block.
Oh my god.
Right? Yeah. I open the door. Who's across the street but my grandma? Look, it gets a little bit crazier. Follow me.
Man.
She's trying to tell me something. She's whispering something to me. And to this day, I wish I remember what she said because I remembered it at a time. She's telling me something. And I'm trying to get closer to go see her, to really listen to what she's saying. The pussy willows fall. Once the pussy willows hit the ground, she's gone. Okay? I wake up. I'm across the street in real life in that same exact fucking spot. In my drawers. And it's pouring down raining. And my mom's screaming trying to come get me.
Yeah.
Never slept walk a day in my life.
Right.
So now it scared me to think, was I always at the top of the steps? Ooh. But that's just crazy to show that that shit is powerful. I really woke up outside.
In the pouring rain with just drawers on.
True story. Everything I love.
That's what I mean when I say maybe they did that so that way you would face your fears, so that way you could move on. Like if you never would have went and actually went down,
I would have had the same nightmares.
You might not even be where you are now.
Damn, you think that one little dream might change my life completely?
Might have changed you completely because you would have never been able to face your fears anytime after that.
Yeah.
So anytime something would have bothered you, anytime something would have might have scared you or
worried you. Right, because I'm one of them people where like I always been this way. Like when you're a kid, and you know how like some people are scared to walk in their house alone in the dark. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna walk and talk shit to whoever's in the house. That's my thing. I'm walking through the dark and I'm talking. If you're gonna come out now. You know what I mean? If I hear a noise, I jump straight to it. I don't fall back and like
wait for it to
let it figure out. If I hear a second noise, I'm always on go. Yeah. I walk down any alleyway. I go towards my fear. And sometimes I push myself to go towards the fear. If something is like even the slightest bit scary to me, or I feel like a problem may arise, I go towards it just to prove to myself that I don't need to be worried about anything.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And
now imagine if you would have never did that.
I probably would have never had this thought process. You crazy?
Half the opportunities or situations you've been through in your life, you would have failed.
Because I was scared.
You would have had to redo this the next time they plugged you in.
I'm glad that was level 1, I think, and I beat it.
I don't even know if we were to do levels. I don't know what level. I might be on like 7.
Because how many drastic changes happened to you? A lot?
To me, yeah, I've had a couple.
A couple, or like you're saying?
I've had like drastic changes. I would say like
without
more
being,
than 5.
like life-changing moments.
Like shit, I will never. There's just certain stuff I have to do because I will never go through this again. I don't want to feel like this again. I don't want to see this again. I don't want to know this again. Like there's all this stuff. Death is my main thing. Not saying I won't deal with it if it happens, but I refuse to think about it and make it a reality until it is. And even when it is, this does not apply to me because I'm not dealing with this anymore. I feel like the past me just absorbed all of that. It pushed me away from what I was supposed to do. Instead of walking through it, I walked around it and ended up in the same spot. Like I'm in a circle, a continuous circle that I'm in a loop.
Right.
And I gotta break it by not taking everything when it comes. Like I don't have to take this.
No,
I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to believe this. I can just move past it. That's not to put
give you the tools for it.
Yeah, that's not to make it any less important. Than death is important. It's a traumatic event that happens in people's lives. But I feel like the past me let it control him to the point where I probably just quit. You know what I mean? Like, I gave up on everything else because it was too much for me to handle. So this me is supposed to keep going. Nah, this ain't the end. We got something else for you. And here we are. I never a day in my life thought about being in front of a motherfucking camera. Here I am. I never thought about doing this. Yes, sometimes I could take photos. Sometimes I could take videos, but I'm not doing it all the time, every single day.
Right.
It's whenever I feel like it, whenever I feel good. But here we film every Monday. I don't post every Monday, but we film every goddamn Monday because this is something that there's just something that I know for a fact. There's something I need to do. I don't know about you, but there's just something I got to get over, and I feel like this simulation of me is going to do it. So next simulation of me doesn't have to worry about it.
And real quick, and without exaggerating, because I don't mean it to seem like I'm saying you're going to be exaggerating when I ask you this by just saying that like you just put a lot of thought into it. Basically, what I'm saying, I want y'all to comment real quick and let us know how many traumatic experiences that you have. And when I mean traumatic, things that changed your life, things that could have changed your life had it happened differently.
Right.
Like this moment in my life, if it would have went another way, I would be in a different predicament.
Right.
A whole different predicament.
Like my whole life.
And really sit back and think about your life and really analyze. I want to hear how many traumatic experiences people have because.
And you don't gotta go into just drop a number. You don't gotta go into detail. Just drop a number. Mine is more than 5. Like if I was to comment, I would put the little up arrow and 5, just because I don't know. I've been through a lot of shit, and I'm just learning that at some point.
I'm at 2 already in my head.
I got no. There's just I've been through a lot of shit. But that all goes back to saying, are we alive? Because how do I remember all of this shit? And
if you're watching this at this point, at 44, whatever,
something like that, something around there,
just know that the government has taken over at this point.
Oh yeah.
You know, with us, they grabbed us, and
this is us letting y'all know that
help. Dang, I'm just playing.
Yeah, this probably scared as shit.
Like, yo, he's trying to tell us something. But that's scary to think, like, people say stuff like that. Like, do you believe in, like, the Illuminati and shit?
I believe there are multiple higher powers.
Yeah. How high? Like, what is a higher power?
Higher power, to me, when I say higher power, it's something that I can't see. Higher power is something that you just have to believe in and buy into.
Not a person, though?
Not necessarily.
So there's not people that run the Illuminati, you don't think?
I think there could be animals running it. I think there could be spirits running it. A spirit is not a person. A spirit is its own thing. So
when you said that, I just thought about like fucking cows with like gavels and shit.
I think about
telling
cows,
people what to do.
I think about goats. I think about horses. I feel like every animal that's ahead of the food chain has its own cult. I think that's where the zodiacs come in. Like water signs are all underneath of this higher power.
That's where I'm at.
Air signs are underneath one power. Earth signs are underneath another power, and then there's fire. And then you have all the rebels within these powers that feel like, man, I'm not following this shit. I'm going to do my own thing. And that's where Illuminati comes in. That's where different religions come in and things like that, where you have your own shit to believe in while you're still a part of something else, but you just don't believe that this is the way you're supposed to. A higher power is just something that you can't see but has power. Something that is influential enough to be able to,
that's what I think,
to caress your thoughts and have you believe in something, one thing solely.
Right. I think, for me, I think that the Illuminati is real. I think that it's ran by people with power. And what's power in our generation is money.
Money and wealth.
I think it's a whole bunch of rich people, and they target whatever the new in is at the time. So before the internet, they controlled what you thought by radio. They controlled what you thought by TV. Now, it's the easiest thing in the world because everybody has it right here in their face, and you can be touching a majority of the people in this world.
Easily, with the click of a button.
Internet. I think it's the people that can dictate what we're going to see. I think it's the people that are dictating what we're watching, what gets plays, what's going to be popular, what gets cut off. You ever see a video that you never seen before again? Like, you ever go down like a YouTube video, somebody trying to break down something about the Illuminati, and you never see the shit ever again? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think about shit like that.
I just think when you got people like that, the people might be at your higher power, but who controls them? Where do they get their orders from?
And I think to be honest, when I haven't dug too deep into what that is, because that's a whole nother thing that I'm probably never going to be able to witness or get information on unless somebody leaks it. But I think that has something to do with like sacrifice.
100%.
I think it is the devil. You know what I mean? Like, and when I say the devil, I just think it's evil thoughts. I think that it comes to a point with sacrifice. I feel like, and I'm not really too much big on like when people sign up for Illuminati, that's when somebody in the family dies. I'm not really that deep into it. I'm saying as far as just evil people doing evil things that are bringing these thoughts to place.
Right. Evil thoughts.
Like in an evil state of mind while you're doing something, they'll tell you what needs to be done and who it needs to be done to.
Right. And you have to follow.
And you're going to affect those people that fall in line, because we're all like a complement of something, of somebody, whether we want to believe it or not, like because we watch so many people grow up.
I feel like that's another thing too, as far as like certain idols disappear as a scare tactic, and a lot of this stuff is part of the evil trying to make you believe that you have to be evil in order to make it.
Well, and that goes hand in hand with people say all the time. The most powerful people that most likely would have stood up for us and told the real, dead. Like the ones that they know they can't control with the money. And, you know what I mean? Like once you hit a certain level and we can't control you by throwing a dollar sign amount and make you shut up, it just seems like they always magically disappear. I don't know. And I never wanted to believe things like that. Like I always take shit for what it is. Like, no, it's just shit happens. It's just like too many coincidences.
I feel like sometimes when these people disappear, I don't even think they're really dead.
They're just locked up somewhere, and people are pulling their fucking talent from them. And
they're just, that too. They're pulling the talent. Like they take whatever they were trying to use for good and turn it evil. I feel like that's why music has such a crazy impact on us, because they take all the good lyrics and all the good vibes and all the good music, and they realize, oh shit, people like to hear all this good stuff. So they extract all the good shit and they put it in, mix it in with the evil, and then you're not even thinking about it no more because it sounds like the good shit. It sounds like this. I don't got nothing against Kurt Franklin, right? I'm not trying to say that something's wrong with him. All I'm going to say is there's no reason as a Christian artist your music should sound like R&B. That just goes with me saying hand in hand, where I know that they'll listen to this. They'll listen to the way that it sounds when it sounds like this. So let me take this. I'm not saying nothing against him. I'm just saying just something for y'all to think about as a platform to stand on. Let me take this, mix it in with this, make it sound like it's one thing, but really it's a whole nother thing. And I feel like I got a whole nother audience being brought in without even knowing, subconsciously.
Yeah, it's all recycled. Like if you listen to like a lot of our music now, especially R&B, it's all recycled. It's all recycled. And you might have never heard it before, but when I hang out with my grandpa and he's playing his music, all of our greatest hit songs of like the 90s, the early 2000s, samples from other songs. The lyrics, word for word, even sometimes, are songs that were like from the 70s, 80s. You know what I'm saying? And they keep recycling it. And I think like they know what you want to hear.
Are we alive?
What the fuck is going on?
Because how can you keep up with all of these things and still make them relevant?
Facts. And what I want you to do, right? You, right here, question everything.
Yeah.
You got the ability to question everything. They could take anything. They could take your freedom away. They could take almost anything from you. They cannot take your mind from you. I just want you to start questioning things. And it start off like, all right, what does this mean? Just do it for me.
Don't be afraid to open your eyes.
And then come back to this video, listen to what we're saying, and have another thought process on it.
A lot of the times, a lot of our videos, because we're so complex and calculated, the first time you hear it, it's like, okay.
Right.
But then you hear something, when you hear something and you see something again that relates to this, come on back and watch it again.
Yeah,
and
these need to be like watched maybe like 2-3 times. I'm talking about like every video.
Every video. Because there's a new meaning behind every single thing that you hear. Every time you hear it one time, it means one thing, but when you hear it again, it'll mean something different to you the second time that you hear it. And that's not even bragging. That's just straight facts. That's just the way we are.
And to be honest, like we dumb a lot of things down for the sake that we can potentially lose a lot of people by speaking the way that we usually speak. Like our conversations with each other is sometimes not even vocal sometimes, like to a point where like I've known them for so long that we make a face and have a whole sentence in there. But long story short, what I'm saying is like
yo, that's crazy. Yeah. That's great. That's dumb.
That's so many different things in one. But when we use it, we know exactly what it means.
Just based off the context.
Alright,
that's crazy.
We can't give them souls.
No, that's crazy.
Right? But realistically though, like our conversations are a lot different that we'll give you on the camera. And that's the reason why we wanted to do this, because when we finally do bring people into our conversations, we intrigue so many different people.
Right.
Like whether we're just at a bar, we don't talk to people when we go out. We stay to ourselves for the most part. And like just, you know what I mean? We're only there just to get out the house for a couple hours that we do. You know what I'm saying? And if we have a conversation with anybody that comes across, they get so wrapped into the conversation that like it blows their mind sometimes. Like
how do they even? Wow.
Right. Wow. Like I'm not like that's
like the famous thing people say. I never thought of it like that.
There's so many people that I have conversations with that like probably judge like the way I may act on social media or stories they might have heard about me, and then they meet me and have a full-blown conversation with me one-on-one, and they say, I never knew you were like this. And a lot of the times they be like, I thought you were stupid.
Oh man,
I thought you were dumb because you were in class in high school acting bad, disrupting us. I could never learn with you in school. But that just goes to show you that, like, until you really get to know somebody, like,
yeah, that you just gotta take the time to do it. Like everything, and I'll hear that all the time. Time this and time that. Time is inevitable. There's nothing you could do about it. You just have to live with it. While you're living with it,
going on right now.
Yeah, you just gotta learn to just take the time to do shit. You're not wasting time if you take the time.
Just bend it a little bit.
That's what you gotta do. Like wasting time is putting up time you know is being wasted. That's wasting time. That's where that comes from. Now, if you invest in time somewhere, and then you realize, like, okay, this might not be going anywhere, that wasn't you wasting time. That was you investing time. But you have to invest in time to get time.
Facts.
You don't just get time. It's just like respect. You can't just think somebody's going to respect you just because. You got to invest and earn that respect. Same way you got to earn somebody's time. Now, your time, you do whatever you want, but you got to invest it. You can't say you're wasting it if you never even tried to put it in somewhere.
First place. It's something to think about.
Today's
video is really just like
this is one of the smaller topics that we didn't even really go into crazy detail, because if we would have went into detail, y'all probably would never come back. Right? And we would have been here for 2 hours because we would have went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. There's no hole. It's like a black hole. We just continue to go deeper.
Majority of our conversations that we have on here is just to like spike the thought. We're just trying to arouse that thought process in your head, and then if you want to have a further conversation, we can go into it. You know what I mean? And that's the whole point of it. Just having a conversation. And we can go back and forth. Of course, we're going to respond to you maybe every week. We're having a full-blown conversation. If there's something that you heard in this video or even the first video and you want to go back to it, we'll go back to it. Whatever you guys want to.
Because it's not going to, us recording the video, we won't forget the video that we made. I just know. When you say which episode, I'm going to know what you're talking about. Because I just know, like, all right, this and this happened in this episode. It just doesn't go anywhere. That's the whole thing when I mean about memory. You ain't alive, neither am I, so get over it.
Get the fuck over it.
Get the fuck over it. What you can do is just better yourself so that way you don't have to go through the same thing over and over again. You do not want to go through life talking about deja vu this, deja vu that. You know what? That's a checkpoint. Ding, ding. That means you were here already before. They know that you were here already. You reached a certain mark in the world, and now they know. All right, when you got to this part, you made this bad decision. That's probably why people go through a lot of shit.
They never broke
and then
through
stop going through shit, and then go through a lot of shit. Because when you go through a lot of shit, it's because they're trying to make sure you don't make the same fucking mistake you did last time.
You're in the beginning stages. You know how, like, some people got like older souls than other people.
Yeah.
It's like, you've had to been here before.
You've been here long. You've been replugged in about 50 million times.
I'm probably used and abused then.
That's not even funny, but
I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Yeah, something to just harp on, sleep on that.
Sleep on it. That's our. Literally, this is our conversation on our way from work.
We were talking about this, and then we had to like. It was crazy because the sequence on the way home, bro. On the way home, we don't never run into traffic. Never.
Same time every time.
No traffic. I promise. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Today, 3 school buses. Right. 3. I thought the first 2 was like, all right. Then there was another one. And I'm like, come on, bro. When do we ever? What is this? The whole time we're talking about this.
Somebody was trying to shut us. I made a joke about it, like they're trying to shut us up because as soon as it happened, he switched the subject and brought up the buses. Come on, man. Y'all trying to shut us up.
Yeah, right.
Like,
that shit was crazy.
Because they know. This is my thought process. When you put certain things out in the world, somebody got to know. Somebody's picking this shit up. So we already made the decision that we were going to make this video about like digging deep or whatever the case. Like, what if we're just striking a nerve on something and they're like,
the whole time they had the research for it and all that, they just needed that one extra push to finish it.
Come on.
Now here we are. All right, so cool. We go back to what we were saying earlier. If you see this video and you know what's going on and we disappeared, we ain't dead. I guarantee you we're not dead. They are holding us hostage somewhere, pulling my teeth out.
Yeah.
Making me suffer for lighting up the world all over again. Yeah. Right, we've been here for a hell of a long time.
I don't even feel like it.
Make sure you hit that like button.
Like it.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe it.
Make sure you let somebody know that this shit is happening right
tell somebody
now. Make sure you let somebody new know. Don't tell somebody that you told before. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you still gotta tell somebody. We appreciate it. We do appreciate all of y'all being here. Every single time we drop, we will be back with another video. We drop every single week, not on the same day, but you can expect to see us every week. This
is
Awake and Analyze. We will be back with another video soon, bitch.